भावना तश्चित्तप्रसादनम् प्रच्छर्दनविद्धारणाभ्यां वा प्राणस्य विषयवती वा प्रवृत्ति उत्पन्ना मनसस्थितिनिबन्धिनी विशोका वा ज्योतिष्मती वीतरागविषयं वा चित्तं स्वप्नानिद्रज्ञानालम्बनं वा यथाभिमतध्यानाद्वा परमाणु परममहत्वान्तोऽस्य वसीकारः.
Nice, Madhu. Thank you. Next, Ravli.
Is she ready? Or I can go. Okay. व्याधिस्त्यान संशय प्रमादालस्य विरति भ्रांति दर्शनालब्ध भूमिकत्वा नवस्थितत्वानि चित्त विक्षेपास्तेन्तरायाः दुःख दौर्मनस्यांगमे जयत्व श्वास प्रश्वासा विक्षेप सह भुवः तत्प्रतिषेधार्थमेकतत्वाभ्यासः मैत्री करुणा मुदितोपेक्षाणां सुख दुःख पुण्या पुण्य विषयाणां भावना तच्चित्त प्रसादनम् प्रच्छर्दन विदारणाभ्यां वा प्राणस्य विषयवती वा प्रवृत्तिरुत्पन्ना मनसस्थिति निबन्धिनी विशोका वा ज्योतिष्मती वीतराग विषयं वा चित्तं स्वप्न निद्रा ज्ञानालंबनं वा यथाभिमतध्यानाद्वा परमाणु परममहत्वान्तोऽस्य वसीकारः क्षीणवृत्तेरभिजातस्येव मणे गृहीतृ ग्रहण ग्राह्येषु. Oh, this is the one. Okay, until 40. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Aruna.
व्याधिस्त्यान संशय प्रमादालस्य विरति भ्रांति दर्शनालब्ध भूमिकत्वानवस्थितत्वानि चित्त विक्षेपास्तेन्तरयाः दुःख दौर्मनस्यांगमे जयत्व श्वास प्रश्वासा विक्षेपसह भुवः तत्प्रतिषेधार्थमेकतत्वाभ्यासः मैत्री करुणा मुदितोपेक्षाणां सुख दुःख पुण्या पुण्य विषयाणां भावना तश्चित्त प्रसादनम् प्रच्छर्दन विधारणाभ्यां वा प्राणस्य विषयवती वा प्रवृत्तिरुत्पन्ना मनसः स्थितिनिबन्धिनी विशोका वा ज्योतिष्मती वीतराग विषयं वा चित्तं स्वप्न निद्रा ज्ञानालंबनं वा यथाभिमतध्यानाद्वा परमाणु परममहत्वान्तोऽस्य वशीकारः.
Nice, Aruna. Thank you, Amma. Deepika.
व्याधिस्त्यान संशय प्रमाद आलस्य अविरति भ्रांति दर्शन आलब्ध भूमिकत्व अनवस्थरायाः दुःख दौर्मनस्याग्नं यजयत्व श्वास प्राश्वास विक्षेप सह भुवः प्रतिषेधार्थम् एकतत्वाभ्यासः मैत्री करुणा मुदितोपेक्षणं सुख दुःख पुण्या पुण्य विषयानां भावना तश्चित्त prasadanam. Prachardhana vidharana abhyam va pranasya vishayavati va pravrutti manasah sthiti nibandini vishoka va jyotishmati gita raga vishayam va chittam swapna nidra gnanalambanam va yathabhi matadhyanadva. 39 only, right? Or 40?
Yeah, 39.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deepika,
Madhvi,
Prachi, are you ready for the chanting? No?
no, I have to go back into the dog the salon. Can I
Okay.
explain my sutra? I just came out for listening.
Okay.
I was trying to record it from the car and send it to you, but the recording itself is taking too long. So I said, okay, I'll just join for 5 minutes and I'll go in a little bit late.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry. I know the mantra.
No, I think you are the
chanting.
first one, so it's okay.
That's why I was.
When I saw your videos, I thought you sent it, so I thought of playing it.
So it's because I'm sending it from the car. It is taking too long, and because this mantra is the sutra is a little long, right? So I have to, and then it's taking too long to upload each one.
Deepika, in the meantime, for the next meditation, Deepika, you are chanting 1 to 40.
1 to 40. Okay.
And we all meditate on that. So that way you will have more energy to work on those 1 to 40 sutras.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so the 130 is Vyadhisthana Sanchaya Pramadalasya Virati Bhranti Darshana Labdha Bhumi Tatvana Vasti Tatvani Chitta Vikshepasaten Taraya. I'm really I'm falling in love with this sutra. I mean, every single thing it's just amazing. So just to break down the sutra, the last one, it says Chitta Vikshepasate Nantaraya. Antaraya basically means obstacle, impediments. Chitta Vikshepa means destruction of mind field, and Vikshepa stay means they are. So basically, these are the obstacles and impediments and the destruction of mind field. Now, what are they? What are they? So it says Vyadhi. The first one is Vyadhi, which means disease or any kind of illness. Sthana means mental dullness or idleness. Sanchaya means doubt. Pramada means carelessness or negligence. Alasya means laziness. Avirati means failing to turn away from the world and the senses, or I would say more to get distracted in our, to get more along in our senses, to not be able to control our senses, so sensuality. Bhranti darshan means wrong views or false perception. Then labdha bhumi katva means failure to reach a firm ground, or failing to gain a ground. Anavasti tatvani means instability to maintain the ground, or whatever ground we have attained, we would basically slip away from it. So just to explain each of these in a small detail, basically it says that these impediments are called vikshepas because they throw the mind off from the path of yoga. They cause to fall from yoga, thus causing the aspirant or yogi to become a yoga bhrashta. They appear with the growth of power and rajas and tams and prevent accomplishment of one's pointedness and ekagra state. Now, it says unless we mastered the vikshepas, the mind field cannot progress and go from vikshipta to the ekagra state. Now, what are these 9 impediments or 9 obstacles? The first one is disease. This stands for dis-ease, any kind of physical discomfort or disorder that prevents us from engaging in the yoga practices. Second one is dullness. Now, when we become little irregular, when we become little ill, when we become ill or any kind of physical discomfort, we might not do that thing in that particular day because we are in pain or whatever is going on, and then slowly and steadily it becomes irregular. So it's saying, what is the result of irregular practice? Not much progress, and we don't feel confident about it also. So it's hard to be keen and intent if you don't experience anything. Same way, if, I have, when we started teaching meditation, a lot of people come and said, oh, I'm doing a meditation, but nothing is happening. So of course, nothing will happen if you are irregular. And this really reminds me my husband. He started doing a meditation, and then he kept saying every time, it's like nothing happened. And then now he, slowly and steadily he became irregular, and now he doesn't do it, very less. So this exactly, shows the step by step. This is very beautiful sutra where it shows the step by step is how these obstacles can stop you. Then comes doubt. Now, of course, so we usually start doubting the teachings. And the most important thing is we doubt ourselves. And when we start doubting ourselves, whatever we have done, whatever we are doing, it's always a question mark for us. Doubt can be a serious impediment to the progress. Our first duty is to clear the doubt. And how can you clear the doubt? By taking help from masters or by reading more books or study more. That way it will help you to clear the doubts. Next comes carelessness or idleness. The energy of the mind is torn by doubt and dissipated by the disease and dullness. It is natural that such practice be marked by carelessness. You barely pay attention to your practices. Then next is laziness. Yoga practice now becomes nothing more than a chore. It's wonderful that one of my friend was just asked. Actually, this morning she asked me, "Do you do meditation every day?" And I'm like, "Is that really a question to me?" Because for me, it's a daily chore. It's not a chore. It's like if I'm brushing my teeth every day, if I am eating my food every day, then of course meditation is there. Like I don't think it as a chore. It's just a regular habit to me now. So this was really cool that it says that once it starts becoming a chore, that's when it becomes heavy on the heart, and that's when you don't want to do things. It become an obstacle. So it says Lord Buddha taught that the only sin was laziness. If we do not attempt to better ourselves, how can there be hope for success in yoga? The next one is sensuality, which is avaripi in Sanskrit, and also it means to disappear. Now, once the doubt is there, laziness is there, carelessness is there, it will definitely start affecting our energy. Our energy will start disappear, and we'll lose our focus, the mind focus, and resolve and seek to satisfy sensual cravings. We'll move towards the good clothes, the party, all those things that we want to do, have fun in life. And in the end, there's a story which pretty much talked about all this. The next is false perception. So with the doubts, especially with the doubt, whatever we have learned so far, we start doubting it. That meditation is doing nothing. The sutras are not, really, it's not really helping me. Or maybe what I thought in the beginning that it will help me, it's not helping me that way. So we may begin to believe that our assessment of yoga as a meaningful for our life was a mistake. Most practices are abandoned, with the exception of perhaps a few stress relieving techniques. Next come, and it is also a noteworthy obstacle because it also talks about ignorance. Then comes failure to reach firm ground. So it is difficult to make a progress when the practices and attainments have become firmly grounded, an integral part of how we experience life. So Sutra 1.14 describes it. I would like to read that. It says about Dirdhakal, something about Satu Dirdhakal Nairantar Satkara Sevito Drad Bhumihi. It talks about that the Drad Bhumihi, which is the firm ground. So this is where it says that we need to, because of all these things, we are failing to reach the firm ground. Now there are many times, the last one it says slipping away from the ground gained, and this is one of my favorite, because there are many times we start doing these practices very energetically, and then we reach to a ground, and then slowly you would never even realize that how beautifully you will slip away from these practices, or how one or two obstacle will slowly it will fall off. So there's a story in the book, the new book that Madhvi sent. It's a very beautiful story, and I could relate that story to, I think, many people, I would say. The story goes like this. There was a young yogi and master. They live in an ashram, and he was a disciple, a very good disciple and very faithful disciple. He would do everything what is needed to be done in the ashram. And one day, Guru, the master, looked at him, looked at his eyes, constantly, and he said, "Master, why are you looking in my eyes? Is there something wrong?" And the master said, "No, there is nothing wrong, but I was just thinking it's time for you to go for a deep meditation." So he said, "Okay." Then he said, "Why don't you go and find a nice forest and a village nearby and start doing your meditation over there. Once the time will come that you have attained, I will go ahead and I'll come to you." Okay. So he said, "Okay, fine." So he went there, and he found a village, and then by the bank of the stream, he built his hut, and then he started doing his daily routine. And after the morning meditation, he will take and he only took a begging bowl and 2 loni clothes. So from the ashram. So after the morning meditation at the bank of the river, he will go to the villages for bhiksha, and he will take his bowl and 1 loni cloth, and in the other one, he will wash and dry on above the roof of the hut. One day, what happened? A rat came and made a hole in the loni cloth. So he came and he saw this hole, and he said, "Oh, I have to go tomorrow. When I go, I have to not only beg for food, I will also have to beg for loni cloth." Next day, he went and he started begging for loni cloth. He got a loni cloth also. But then this seems to become a daily thing, because the rat keep making a hole, and he has to keep going and ask for the loni cloth. So somebody said, "Why don't you, rather than this, since you have to beg every day for loni cloth, why don't you get a cat? Once you get a cat, the rat will be taken care of." He said, "Oh, that's a very simple solution. I would have done that before. I would do it now." He begged for the cat his food and a loni cloth. So then he got a cat, and he also got a loni cloth. Now the issue was the cat also is hungry. The cat also needs food. So he said, "Okay, I'll go." And next time he begged for the cat, for the milk for the cat. So again, every day there's a cat, he need to ask for the milk. So this one other guy said, "Every day it seems to be a trouble for you to asking for a milk. Why don't you get a cow? It's better to get a cow, so that will automatically the milk will be taken care of." He said, "Yeah, that's a very good idea." He now begged for the food and the cow, and then he got the cow. The milk problem was solved, but then he soon realized that even the cow needs to eat. So again, he went out and he asked for the food and now the hay for the cow. So, and it becomes a daily chore again, daily routine again. So somebody said that it's too much of hassle to ask for the hay every single day. You live in a fertile soil. Why don't you go and get some seeds, hay seeds, and you will have a nice crop. Then your problem, this will be taken care of. He said, "Yeah, that's a very good idea." He did that. He actually got a very good crop. The cow was fed, the cat was fed. Now the thing was, he was working hard, because to have a nice crop, you have to work hard in the field. So this other guy, he looked at him and he said, "You're working too hard. It's too much of it's too much of work for you. Why don't you get a nice woman and get married, and you will have a wife and you will share the responsibility?" So he said, "Okay, I will do that." He found a nice woman, he got married, and he is now settled down. He has, because of his crop, his hut soon became a mansion. And then he also started having a very nice servants. The servants are there in the mansion, and he started living his life very happily with with family. His business grew, his family grew, so they started living life very happily. This one day, there was a knock on the door, and so he went. He stood up and he went to open the door. And when he opened the door, he started looking at his master's eyes. It was his master at the door. He said that when the time will come, I'll come to you. So he came and he knocked at the door. So he opened the door and he looked at his eyes and he was trying to remember, what who this is, and and then he started having these memories of who he was, and who the master was and everything. So, and then at last he really shouted, and he remembered everything, that what he has forgotten, or his neglected commitments. So, he soon realized it, and suddenly he shouted, he put his arm up high and said, all this for the want of lonely cloth. This one want, one thing leads to another leads to another. And then he got so distracted that he is not doing whatever he was supposed to do, his meditation, and, going deeper into meditation. He was not doing that because now he's busy taking care of other things in his family and stuff. So it says the moral of the story is not that you should not have a spouse, you should not have a pet, but the moral of the story is to keep an eye on the goal. So don't let it slip away from your mind, from your focus. So that's the whole story, and I love the story so much because every day this is very true in our life. That every day we want something or the other, and one want comes to the other, then to the next, then to the next, and soon we realize, oh, we forgot what we actually wanted, or maybe this was not important. So this whole sutra is so perfect. It talks about our everyday life. I feel every single thing that has been the 9 impediments that has been talked about here, we all go through this every single day, every single time. But this is where Patanjali is teaching us that how beautiful, if you take care of all these obstacles in your daily life, there is a way to take away these obstacles. So if you take away these obstacles, you can attain the Samadhi.
Thank you, Prachi.
So that's
Beautifully, nicely explained. Next is Ravali. Do you want to go, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. So yeah, nicely explained, very nicely explained, Prachi ma'am. Thank you. So the 31 sutra is Dukkadaur Manasyanga Mejayatva Shwasa Prashwasa Vikshepa Sahabhuvaha. So here in this particular shloka, Patanjali master talks about the impact or the effects of the 9 obstacles that show us onto our physical body. So as Prachi ma'am has told about those 9 obstacles, how those 9 obstacles manifest into our physical body in different ways. So this sutra talks about that. So so the dukkha here is, you can talk it as sadness or distress. And then there is daurya manasyanga, that is despair and mental misery. Angam means body here, and jyatva means trembling, and swasha is disturbed inhalation, praswasha is disturbed exhalation, and vikshepa is distraction, confusion, and saha bhuvaha is all these accompany and arise and they exist in the body. So the impact of the mental distractions that show onto our physical body and mind are 4 accompaniments happen. Those are sadness or distress, mental misery, you can classify them as depression or anxiety or anything. Then the physical body, there'll be happening a lot of tremors and instability in body parts, and you'll find we going through disturbed, irregular and uneven breathing. That is, our inhalation and exhalation is not happening in a normal way. So there's a disturbance in our inhalation and exhalation. So when we see all these previous 9 obstacles, you can see that, whatever yad bhavan tad bhavati, the concept is that most of the illnesses that happen into our body are psychosomatic. We always say that. So whatever the 9 obstacles other than the first one, rest of the 8 are all mental afflictions that have eventually will result as some kind of disease or some kind of issue onto our physical body. That's how Patanjali master is explaining. So when you have any of these 9 obstacles, when you're operating through any of these 9 obstacles, then you will manifest one or the above 4 effects that we have just talked about. So here the Patanjali master is indicating to us that before you talk about solutions or how yoga is going to help with your mental health or your mental fluctuations, we need to first see how the problem arises, right? What are those obstacles and everything? Why does it arise? And what are the causes that might play a role in these mental fluctuations to happen? So there might be n number of obstacles, but Patanjali master has given us 9 of them to work with first. And so one should always understand that, we always need to check the state of being that we are in. They say that tamasic state, right? You are that lethargic or inertia state, that is the root cause of most of the things. So we need to move from that tamasic state to being sattvic. That is not only in your diet, but also in your physical body. That is a tranquil state, a state of creation, a state of cultivating new ideas and, moving away from that victim mentality. So this helps us to keep us a serene, both serene or equilibrium state in physical body as well as in the mind level. So it's very, very important that we need to take care of all these aspects in our body, because we need to understand that when a body is sick, the first obstacle that he's talked about is physical body illness. When a body is sick, that you'll be never fit to do anything. The mind won't allow you to meditate. The weak nerves will create tremors in your body. You can't do any activity. So we always need to keep our body in a proper condition. We have to give that physical necessary, whatever time you have, you need to give that exercise, proper rest and right to your body. So once you take care of your physical body, then you can work on your mental afflictions and everything. So here I remember of these beautiful examples. One is Buddha and one is Sai Baba's. So Buddha, Siddhartha, who later after enlightenment became Buddha, when he was in that process of enlightenment, he has tried all numerous ways. And there was a time where he was fasting, he was mortifying his physical body, he was not eating food, anything. And then there's this beautiful lady that comes up and gives him a bowl of sweetened rice, and says that if your body is weak, how will you do all these things? How will your mind be normal? Then that time he'll eat the particular sweetened rice, and then in the next 8 days he has attained his enlightenment. And then he understood that it's always middle path that we need to follow. We need to take care of our physical body. It's very important for us to go through the process of yoga. And even Sai Baba also never encouraged. I mean, I was reading the Sai Satcharitra and recently, and I found in that chapter 32 where he said that you should never fast. And I see a lot of people fasting for Thursdays, but he really writes there saying that I won't allow anyone to fast, neither I will fast, because the mind of a faster is never ease. How could you attain Paramatma state and God and all these things when your stomach is empty and it is craving for something else? So you need to take care of your physical body. That is also very important, and do whatever you want with the rest of your time. So in short, we need to look at all these important aspects of the mental distractions that results accompaniments onto this physical body. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ravali.
Yeah, thank you, Ravali. I think definitely I love the part, and I too agree. I too read Satcharitra, and in Baba's path also. I always love what he says, not to fast, but have a feast instead. So never try to do really long fastings. And it's okay to have mindful eating, but I don't think he encourages any time fasting and then meditating, and you're all the time thinking of food, right? Instead of meditation, I'm hungry, I should have eaten something, or what should I eat next? Something like that. So I totally agree. Thanks, Ravali. Can I go with the 32, Madhavi? Yeah. So the 32 says again tat pratishedardhameka tattvabhyasaha. So which means tat pratishedardham is artham is in order to, pratishedha is to prevention or remove, Tat is that. So in order to prevent these, Eka-tattva Bhyasaha. Bhyasa, Abhyasa. If you break it down, Abhyasa is a practice. Tattva is like a Tattvam, subject. Eka is one. So in order to prevent these, what Ravali has mentioned and all those impediments, so we need to practice one, that is oneness. Actually, they are talking about oneness here. So they can be removed by the practice of one subject. So so further they say that Eka Tattva is one element should be practiced to remove these deflections, and additional vikshepas forever. That is continuous practice of one specific method or specific element decided by Shastra will bring to that preventing all this what was said above. So we can come to that Eka Tattva is a oneness. So now the question is which element and how should it be practiced to remove all those 9 major obstacles Prachi mentioned and 4 minor obstacles. So what Ravali and earlier we heard about it, these 2 shlokas. So the prefix Eka, one before Tattva is, has great significance. The Maharshi has not used any word uselessly. So he has used very carefully. Each small letter has a meaning. Eka also has that. Eka itself is oneness. So each and every word is very important here. So the way in Sutra, Sankhya 14 of Samadhi Padam, Maharshi has explained the meaning of practice using adjectives like a long time, continuity, serious practice. Similarly, he has told us the significance of element by using a prefix Eka before it. So there are many ways and practices to remove these impediments, what Prachi just mentioned in detail. Very good information we got about those 9 impediments, and she gave also great examples in our daily life also. I too see that in my husband as well. So definitely we need to check that. But these obstacles can never be completely removed by using different means. So therefore the Maharshi has emphasized on the practice of Eka Tattva, one element, to overcome these obstacles and enjoy benefits of Samadhi. So concentration is achieved by practicing Eka Tattva, which will help you to move forward on the path of yoga by converting the deranged mind into a focused one. So we are like just now we were talking about how the mind, Ravali has mentioned, right? How it can distract with the different things that we create on our own. So we can come to a one focused one practice. So according to Sutra Sankhya 23, Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender to Ishwar, is the best and easy way for Samadhi Labha. Samadhi Labha, so for focused mind. And according to this sutra, practice of Ishta, Eka Tattva, cherished divinity, is the best way to remove obstacles for concentration of mind. So what is this Eka Tattva? Meaningful chanting of Omkara, we have also heard about that, is one way of Eka Tattva. So continuous chanting, Madhavi has also clearly brought that Omkara, how we can practice within ourselves. So take one focused thing and start practicing to get to that part of Eka Tattva. So the meditator achieves concentration of mind with its uninterrupted continuous practice, and then he can destroy all grief. So in next sutra, Maharshi will tell the seekers the ways to achieve happiness of mind, because deflection cannot be destroyed completely if the mind is not happy. So we'll have that follow up. So when the meditator practices Eka Tattva, one element, with a happy mind, only then all his deflections get destroyed. Otherwise, along with practice of Eka Tattva, he has to practice for happiness of mind to achieve complete success. So Padma Madam also gave example of Prahalada, how he said Hari is present, so omnipresent, right? Like he's present, divinity is present everywhere. We talked about it. So he said Hari is present everywhere. Similarly, we should be able to do practical work by realizing that a divinity of feeling oneness within us. So oneness everywhere. It is not somebody can give it to others, but one has to get to that sthiti with our own sadhana. That's what Padma Madam insisted while explaining this sutra also. And she also mentions like Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and all those Pancha Koshas are made with bodily elements, and elements are made of dhatus, that is tissues, and tissues are made up with atoms. Atoms have life force within them, and this life force is again part of the divine force, which unites and is a vicious circle like that, where when we take one thing, like a thing or a animal or a person or anything in the world, when you go deeper into deeper, like not this, how you can go into deeper layers, again you'll find that force within everything involved. So that is the supreme force, that what we are seeing, and what that is the oneness they're talking about here. And also same thing, I believe, is also referred in the Mind and Matter book as well, that Patriji mentioned. So that's what Padma Madam also reminded us. So similarly, we have to analyze everything in this world to reach the divine force behind that, what is in every part of it. So this is how one can attain the oneness, Eka Tattva, with the practical work. That's what Maharshi is saying. So a sadhaka has to become a child to feel the oneness. So Padma Madam clearly mentioned how a child is so happy, even a death occurs in a family, child is not bothered. Like they want to, if they are hungry, they just go and have food, and they are just playing. Even a death occurs in a family, which means that a child is like looking everything like a game, like a part of everything. So if we can really become to that level with our sadhana, Ekatattva, with some practice that we continuously follow, like how I think Prachi or Prachi was saying, right? Like how meditation is now not only a habit, but it is a part of our life. We have made it as part of our life. So with continuous practice, I believe we can reach to that oneness where we can see that unity in everything and oneness in everyone. We don't see the differences and we don't feel all these problems are with the differences, right? They have done something, or we feel bad, or we are hurt with something. So all this will go away once we get to that stage of oneness. So that's what I understood with this sutra. So anybody can expand if anything I missed. Thank you, guys.
I think you have expanded quite a bit, Aruna. Very good explanation.
So, Madhvi,
Chappandi
next to 33. Maitri Karuna Mudito Maitri Karuna Mudito Pekshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanatas Chitta Prasadanam. Here, Maitri, that is the friendship, Karuna, that is the mercy. And these are 4 qualities that he's explaining to have along with our Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam. So, Karuna, mercy, and Mudita, we had to be happy. Indifference, Upeksha. Upeksha is the indifference. So, in all these, like whenever we have Sukha, Dukha, Punya, Vishaya, in all these things, Chitta Prasadanam. So, to pacify our mind. So, we had to have all these 4 qualities that he's saying. So in Sutra 32, Aruna explained when mind concentrates on a single object and for some time, then how it will destroy all the obstacles which we which we learned before, all these 9 obstacles what we face. So that's how, by concentrating on one, all these obstacles are removed. So here in Sutra, along with it, Sutra 33, he explains about the benefit of having all these 4 good qualities. And like friendship for all. Now we have to show the friendship for all, and then the mercifulness towards those who are in misery. We have to show the karuna. That is the mercifulness. When whoever is having some trouble, we have to show the mercy. And also we need to be happy at looking at others who are successful, not feeling jealous. Suppose one of our colleagues get a promotion, even though we don't get, we should not feel jealous. We should be happy for others, for such people. So we need to be happy at looking at others who are successful and happy and never feel jealous. And we need to be indifferent, that is upeksha, towards the wicked people. That is people who do not treat us properly, and who gives us trouble unnecessarily. Towards such people, we had to be indifferent, not to react. People who does not treat us right, towards in those situations, here Patanjali Maharshi is saying we should not react. We have to be indifferent. So these attitudes of the mind towards different kinds of people makes the mind peaceful. Most of our difficulties in our daily lives come from being unable to hold our mind stable. For instance, if somebody does not treat us right, then we want to react with evil instantly. If they behave, badly, immediately we try to react. So every evil reaction of ours shows that we are not able to hold the chitta down, and we lose our temper or power. So in that way, we are disturbing our mind. So every reaction in the form of evil or hatred is so much lost to the mind. That's what, Maharishi Patanjali is saying. You have to be very careful. Every reaction in the form of evil or hatred is so much lost to the mind. By controlling evil thought or hatred towards others, we gain power, and it is a favor to our mind. So by not reacting, to the evil people who do not, treat us properly, when we have to be calm, by doing that, he's saying we gain the control of our mind. That is the gain for us. Even though we think we are losing, but it is actually a gain to our mind. Each time when we suppress hatred or anger, we are storing good energy in our favor, and this energy will be converted into higher power eventually. That's what he's saying, not to react in those instances. When we practice these 4 good qualities in our daily life, it will pacify our mind, and it will be easier in our yoga sadhana. And also here, they explain like 4 locks and keys. So the first one is happiness, and the key is friendliness. You have to be friendly with everybody, not to be, because I'm doing yoga sadhana, not to be aloof, but be friendly with everyone, have that friendliness. And the second one is unhappiness, and don't show unhappiness, show compassion towards the people who are not happy, who are having troubles. And then the virtuousness, that is the key is, having a delightness and the patience and courage. And these can be studied, these can be developed through the study and the contemplation of our scripture, either good books. And also the last one is non-virtuousness. Towards that, the key is equanimity. When people are behaving non-virtuously, we have to be, the key is, having a upeksha, that is the equanimity, and don't react, don't react, and just have a calm mind, during that situation, and it will gain, it will help you in the long run, because that calms your mind and your chitta. So these are, along with the sadhana and vairagya, we have to develop all these 4 qualities to calm our mind. So this is the important thing. Also, they reduce our obstacles. That's all I have.
Thank you, Balaman. Very well explained.
Beautifully said, Bala ma'am. I think this sutra is one of my favorite sutras. I think this really changed me. I wrote my own interpretation for this sutra.
Okay.
My favorite sutra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because normally, before meditation, we try to react quickly. But
I think if we follow this one sutra properly with the abhyasa and other than, I think rest is like taken care of.
Yeah. moving on, Sutra number 34. Prachardhana vidharanabhyam va pranasya. So continuing, like we have been talking about how to stabilize the mind, how to clear the mind in this set of sutras. So this again is showing that the mind can also become tranquil by the controlled expelling and retaining of the breath. So this is what we talk in our meditation, that once your mind becomes empty, when you focus on your breath, your mind becomes empty. And so this is what we've been teaching in meditation. So this is the basis of this sutra. So here he says, the Patanjali Maharshi explains that through the controlled inhalation and exhalation of one's prana. Prana here, he means it's not exactly breath, but he is saying that it's the force which causes this motion or movement of this breath. So the energy behind the air or the breath, that is what which causes the chitta to become pleasant, he says. So the various specific ways of holding and releasing the air, staying in the puraka, rechaka, inflow and outflow of the control breath, that is what it means. So the mind and breath are related. When the mind becomes agitated, the breath follows. Vice versa, also when the breath becomes irregular, the mind also becomes agitated. The same wise, when the breath is regulated, the mind will become more clear and calm by gently extending the duration of our exhalations and inhalations and retaining the breath. We can exert a powerful calming influence on our mind. And then this breath retention, it is a very powerful practice. So it can even also, if it is attempted without any proper guidance or the qualified teacher, it might even cause a potential physical harm. So it is always here what we are talking about is maybe the Kumbhaka, or what the Shambhavi Mahamudra, what Sadguru teaches in his practices. So all these things. So here it is talking about the breath, how we throw out the air and how we restrain the breath. So also in this Vivekananda book, I came across the in-depth detail about the pranayama and everything, but Patanjali Maharshi doesn't touch about all those things. So other yogis, the later yogis who came across, they explain more in detail about the prana. The prana is the one which is staying calm or motionless state. That is also is prana. It is a sum total of the energy displayed in the universe is called as prana. So here what we are talking about is a prana which begins to manifest itself when the cycle begins. So we are talking about the prana which is moving, which is doing manifestations. So this prana which we are talking about. So the various forms of exhalation and inhalation and holding, all those, this is the science of pranayama, but he is not going in detail. There are three types of pranas: the Ida, Pingala, Shushumna, all the three types of pranas. Ida is on the left side of the spinal cord and Pingala is on the right side of the spinal cord. Usually every man works only with these two channels, but Shushumna, the middle part, the one which is in the middle of the spinal cord, only the yogis work through this Shushumna Nadi, that is what it says. So this is one more way of stabilizing the mind. The sutra goes like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika. So Sonam is not here. If anybody wants to take, they can do. If not, I can read from the book.
Yeah, do you want me to try, Madhavi? 135.
Should I do it, Madhavi?
Yeah. Who said? I'll try it. Anybody?
Yeah,
Whoever called first, they will take it.
Okay. Aruna ma'am said.
Okay.
That's good, right? We have people coming forward.
Yeah, I really like the enthusiasm that you guys have. Really nice. I'm very.
Yeah, it's giving
It's very good.
extra challenge for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So 35 is Vishayavati va pravrutti rutpanna manasaha stiti nibandhini. And before that, I really wanted to say, yeah, 33 is really such a wonderful sutra. Balagaru provided a lot of details and it has so much depth in it. Just I think somebody said, right, I don't know, Deepika, by following just that one sutra, we really can overcome, we can reach the oneness actually, because all the types of people, if we know how to handle, right, in this world, I think definitely that's very, very interesting sutra. We keep hearing, but the depth, it has so much depth in it. Yeah, thank you, Balagaru. So here, Vishayavati va pravitti rup.
Actually, Sonam is here. Let's see if she wants to take it.
Yeah, then let Sonam take it over. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Sonam, you came at the right time. It's yours.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my table.
Glad you come. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aruna was about to take your sutra because she took a lot of, but she was about to explain and you came. So.
Oh no, she can go ahead. I can add.
No. Once in a while you're coming. I want you to do it.
Oh, sorry, I was getting pulled into some calls or something else. But yeah, I prepared for this one. So yeah, I will do it.
Good.
Okay, so Sutra number 35. It says, Vishayavati va pravritti rutpanna manasaha sthiti nibandhini. So what it means is, like other techniques of chitta prasadanam, concentration is another technique where we focus on one thing or one object, and that also helps us to control our mind. So Vishayavati here is impressions stimulated by objects, and va also means also. Pravritti is modifications, and utpanna is I think we use that word in Hindi also, means to produce something. And sthiti is stability, and nibandhini is a state of being or fixed bound. So when I was reading, meaning or explanation for this sutra, something very new came to something I didn't know came to my attention. So they were saying that if you concentrate on the tip of your nose, you can actually smell celestial smells, and that's the power of concentration. Like if you when you focus on, for example, tip of your nose, your mind becomes still, and it helps you access things which you have not seen or smelled earlier before, and they are from the celestial world kind of. And they had other things too, like if you focus on tip of your tongue, you can taste new taste which you have never tasted earlier and things. So that I felt was a new or very different interpretation of this sutra. Like some people, at least when I started meditation, some people do tell that, concentrate on your third eye area, or like even anapanasati is like you focus or concentrate on your breath. But yeah, I felt that tip of the nose and tip of the tongue, and those things were very new to me. I've never heard about those things. So yeah, I think that was what I wanted to say today. Anybody wants to add?
Ravali or Aruna, do you want to add anything? Yes, I may have to leave, but I made some of you guys co-host, and you can end it when it is done.
Actually, I need to leave too, Madhvi. I have
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stick to 5 minutes explanation, I think, today. I mean, if the explanations are really good, but if we can stick to little shorter time, then we can finish it on time.
Yes, that would be great. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're left with
Yeah,
with one sutra.
let Madhu finish hers then we will, we can take a leave. Madhu? Madhu, are you there?
I'm talking in mute, sorry.
Okay.
So I'll continue a little bit of the 35th. I'll add little to 35th and go on to the 36th, okay?
Yeah.
So the 35, 36 and 7 sutra are important. They give the techniques for chitta prasadanam and chitta vritti nirodhanam to stabilize the mind. So that is concentration, right? Each one is a technique. In each one particular technique is given. So here when you are in 35 sutra, when you are focusing on one object, either the nose or the eyes, or a breath, you smell. Sometimes sugandhi you smell, right? Chandanam you smell, you can smell, or you see other things or hear some sounds. So all these happen. That so when you sit in meditation, sit quietly and focus. And also subtle sensations in the body also happen. In your fingers you feel some energy, right? Such things also happen in your body. So when such things are happening, it is called the higher sensations in your body. And when you focus on those sensations, your mind gets stabilized. So here Patanjali says, be sensitive to those sensations when you're sitting in meditation. Focus on those sensations and observe your body, what is happening. In 35th Sutra, that is what he's telling. So moving on, like that is what I got. So, and 36th Sutra is Vishoka va Jyotishmati. So the word to meaning is Vishoka. Shoka is sorrow. Vishoka is no sorrow or no grief. Va is or. Jyotishmati. Jyoti is light. Jyotishmati is full of light, illuminated light or light inside. Here light means it is that light that we see, like which removes darkness. That is one light. Pardon me. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at a message. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have just 1 minute. I need just 1 minute. I'll finish it off. Okay. And Jyoti is when you Jyoti is either the light that we see which eradicates darkness, opposite of darkness, or light opposite of heaviness, that lightness, or no pain. That is what he means Jyoti here. So this is another technique, just like the sutra in 35, and there is one more, the next 36 also. He tells how the chitta vritti nirodham happens. Okay, so when the sadhaka sits for sadhana and focusing on one thing, sitting quietly and focusing his mind on one thing, chitta prasadanam happens. Okay, for manasthiti namandini, you are trying this many times. You're meditating, you are doing sadhana. Then what happens? some people experience a light in front of their eyes. They see some light or sparkling things, or some jyoti are visible. When you focus on that light, it also enables us to chitta prasadanam, that is calmness of the mind. And though we are able to see that light or our body feels light, we should not sit for meditation for that purpose, so that we are able to see those, because these all are, for the beginners, it might be fine. These are all experiences that happen. The smell we feel, or the light that we see, or the colors that we see, or the lightness of the body or the heaviness of the body, these are all sensation, or the subtle sensation in the body, these all happen. But we should not sit for meditation for those sensations, because some people do that. That is the drive for them sometimes, to get out of the stress in the life and all that. But that should not be the sadhaka's focus to meditate. The sadhaka's purpose to meditate should be, because if we are sitting in meditation for that is again a vritti, right? Your desire. But here our purpose is to get out of all these vrittis. Chitta vritti nirodha. So though in the beginning we it is okay, but our purpose should not be for that. Let it not be a hurdle for us, or let it not be a hindrance in our path. So our focus main should be that ultimate goal of chitta vritti nirodhanam and chitta prasadanam. So that is what Patanjali Maharaj says. Though all these comes, don't focus on that, go beyond that and continues your practice for that ultimate goal of chitta vritti nirodhanam and prasadanam, and calming your mind. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu. What you said is true. In the third pada, he talks about the siddhis. What came to my mind is, obviously we should not get carried away with that. But sometimes for the beginners, like for the people to get more,
this is only for beginners to sit, but
instant to see the benefit. Oh, this is so nice, and then people will get more interested, right? So it's always candy is the pillal bag panchestaru. If you give a candy to a person, then a kid, they work. They are more motivated. So sometimes I think it's like a big candy for the big people. A candy for the big people.
Yeah. Initial, yes, but yeah.
He says that these are the ones that distract the people, like because of all the powers that they get distracted. So be aware of that also. What you said is also true, but just
don't get attached to those siddhis, because we want to get out of those attachments only, right? So
that's true.
No, even this is an attachment.
So in the 36th one, which Madhu ma'am said, in one of the books, he gave a method. Like all these are techniques, right? This is a fourth technique. So in the technique, he gave like, just imagine a lotus, and whenever you breathe, lotus and a stack, the green color stack in the lotus. So whenever you breathe in, imagine that the air is going from the green color stack and the petals of the lotus is going up. And whenever you are breathing out, imagine the petals of the lotus are going down and the breath is coming out of the stack. And just imagine that and try to make. So that is one of the concentration methods, right? Out of all the methods. So yesterday in the meditation, I did it. I just got reminded of it, and I did it. I think for about 30 to 40 seconds, there was no breath. I could not breathe. My breath stopped. So I think this was amazing yesterday.
This feels like Sahasrara on top of our head if we are breathing.
I imagined it in at my heart.
Oh, heart. Okay.
Yeah. So I visualized a lotus, I visualized a green color stack of lotus, and I imagined that's what, right? You're putting a pointed focus of concentration on an object. So I did it like that.
So Ravali, so this lotus should be in the heart, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagined at the heart region. I took some time. It took me 5 to 6 minutes. Then slowly I started, like, whenever I'm breathing in, the petals are going like closing up, and when I'm breathing out, the petals are opening. So like that, I imagine.
Yeah, and also he said, while breathing in, the lotus is in downward, and while breathing out, the lotus is becoming upward.
Yeah, I did it in my own way, but what the result was is, like, my breath stopped for 30 to 40 seconds. I could feel it.
Wow.
Yeah, yesterday in the group meditation, it happened.
Very good.
Wow, nice.
Beautiful, Ravali.
But thank you to each and everyone.
I wanted to say that just try it like that. It will happen with everyone.
No, what you experienced is, it is called bandhana, like for a few minutes. This bandhana is a very great technique, it seems, but that has been learned. It has to be learned from a guru.
Okay, I didn't know. Because yesterday only I wrote the 36
when it comes,
sloka. So I thought I'd try it.
See, it came naturally for you, so that is great. So you are not forcefully doing it. So it is perfectly all right. If it comes to us now.
Yeah. Because yesterday only I wrote the 36 truths. I thought, why not I try it? Yeah. Madhavi ma'am, your voice is breaking. So yeah, I thought I would tell everyone will also try that technique. Maybe if you try your meditation, you'll get it. Yeah.
When you start meditating, the life of yours will be, like the lifespan will be more than the non-meditator.
Yes.
And we all know that this many breaths that we are going to live in this life.
True.
Nice, very nice.
It's very nice. In group meditation, I did. Maybe it worked in that way or other way. I don't want to analyze it, but it happened. I wish everyone try it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, definitely we should. Regarding the Omkaram, I want you guys to share the experience in the group. Like, if you have done the Omkaram, internally chanting Omkaram, if you have tried it. Let's have a discussion in the group, like share your experiences. And I have some practical things that we want to do. Maybe today is not the right day, but definitely I'll work on it for next week, and then we will have some practicals in the sense like day-to-day stuff, like how we can achieve in our day-to-day life. Nothing to do in the session, but in our day-to-day life, what we can do. I'll put forward that in the next week, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Very nice discussion, guys. I mean, I really like the enthusiasm that you guys have, and it inspires everyone, because I think we all have very good energy and doing all these things. So great way to lead our life in this way. Thank you
for the initiative, and very nice sharing today. I guess this is one session that we should not miss. Today's, I guess, right?
It's like everybody came today, in the last minute. Like, I think 2 or 3 people couldn't make it, but everybody came and then did their part. Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
All thanks to you, Madhvi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Madhvi.
I think thanks to Maharshi, Patanjali Maharshi, who is making me do all this.
Yeah. Thank you, Balagaru. Nice explanation. 36, I will write somewhere and keep it. Whenever my vrittis are coming out, I will look at that one.
Thank you. All of us have to follow.
Yeah,
sure.
30th Sutra, I'm sure 30th Sutra, everybody must have felt, oh, this is just for me only. The Maitri Karuna Mudito Pekshanama, what is that?
33. Yeah.
30th one. Prachi explained. Laziness, carelessness, and then the 9 disturbances.
9 obstacles, yes. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful explanation, Prachi.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Thank you. It's
not just
actually,
we, but there was another member who was listening behind you. I saw that. Abhinay, when you were in the car.
it was dog.
I know.
He I missed actually, because I was very much I wanted to really attend the class, and I also wanted to take him. It was at the same time. So what I did is I started recording ahead of time, and then the recordings were long, like 7 minutes, and then it won't upload to Madhya. It was taking time. So it passed 12 o'clock, and then I thought, okay, anyways, the class has started. Let me just log in, and then I will just speak up, and then I'll go. By the time I went inside, they said you are late, so we won't do the full thing. So why don't we rescheduled it? So I was having this. It was going on in my mind. I was getting bothered that I was there early for the first time. I was there 10 minutes early, but then it was just a planning that didn't work out well. And initially I thought I'll record it, and then I thought, no, I will just attend the class and I'll do it. But I was happy that I was able to attend the class. I was able to explain, I was able to say whatever, I studied for. So at least that was one of the satisfaction. And reschedule is, I was really fine with the reschedule. Initially, it bothered me that I should have managed it more better way. And this is where I was thinking while I was, Balagaru was explaining in the car, when she was explaining, I was coming into the house, and it talks about, and whatever we think that it's a mistake or we didn't manage it properly, but it's just a moment. We learned it. Let's move forward. Let it go, and let's move forward. And let's redo. Maybe next time it will be much better. Now I would know what to do at this time. How should I manage myself? So just a lesson learned here.
Prachi, the whole story you explained, the whole thing, in Telugu, we have a proverb for that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we use it very often. That once you desire one thing, how everything follows.
Yeah.
What is it called, Balagaru? What is the proverb called?
I think Gochi Guddako, I had to ask if I forgot. Let me ask my husband, but we always used to use nowadays, I forgot. But the same thing, let me ask my husband and I will tell next time.
Right? Like how the sage from Gochi Gudda, he goes to everything a big cycle, right? It's
Very
like
common story, but the whole thing comes in a one proverb.
Yes, yeah. Correct.
But I observed he didn't bark even once. You did explain for quite some time, right? But even then, he was nicely listening. He never barked once.
Yeah, because I meditate in front of him. Even if I do evening puja, he will come and sit there. So I have noticed his behavior, that he is, whenever I'm doing any such thing, he is being very calm and he doesn't bark. He doesn't usually bark anyways. He's just a puppy right now, but he doesn't bark much. But I've noticed even doing the evening puja, nobody will come from my family if I'm lighting a lamp, but he will come and sit there. Wow. So it is nice that he actually, I should be thankful to him that he gave me a time to sit in the car for that 15 minutes to really explain it. He was getting restless, but he was really being calm and steady. So I'm glad that it happened. One day somebody told me, and I actually carry this in mind. One of my kids' pediatrician, now she's into meditation with me also. So 6 months ago, when we got this dog, I really wanted, so everybody told me that since you do meditation, your dog should also do a meditation. I said, yeah, that's the ultimate goal. I'll make sure that he do meditation with me and he sits with me. So, but it was not very clear and how to do it and what to do it. And, it was just a thought, very, very, at a very base level. So this pediatrician, she's old now. So she was talking to me and she said, even we had a dog, and whenever we will do puja, he will sit, because I was worried. We had a Satyanarayan puja that day, and I thought he's only being 4 months, he will bark with so many people. But she said, when we used to have a dog, and whenever we will do a puja, he will come and sit and he will wait for the prasad at the end. So just for that prasad, he will sit in the whole puja, and he won't even bark at all. Like he will just stay calm until the puja is done. So with that thought, I think I have hold that thought in my mind. And I always think about him the same way, that whatever I'm doing, hope my mind is automatically going there, that he is going to sit there, he is going to listen, he is not going to disturb me or whatever it is. So I don't know if it's because of my thoughts, the vibrations, or I'm sure he's one of the good soul also, but it's just that thought is really tying me to do the same thing with him, that eventually he will be the way that he will sit for the puja, and I guess he will be involved in meditation. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but this is one thing I had.
Wow, nice. Nice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Madhu, for asking.
Is Madhvi there? So,
Hey, thank you guys. I have to leave. Thank you so much. It was an awesome session. Thanks everyone for your time.
Thanks, Madhvi. Bye.
yeah, thank you
you.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone. Hi Madhavi. Both Madhavis.
Yeah, bye Shailja garu.
Everyone explained so nicely. Actually, I wanted to ask Ravali her interpretation, what she said for Maitri Karuna Upekshanam, but she has left, I think.
Ravali is not. Maybe keep that
Next time.
thought. Keep that thought. Maybe next week you can ask.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Madhavi. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shailaja, I saw you on the stage the other day when you came
Which
up on
stage?
the stage in the PM MMC.
No, I was not. I didn't go. Maybe you.
Was not you? Oh.
No,
No,
Sneha. It was Sneha. Yellow
Sneha.
sari was Sneha.
It's not me. I didn't go to India.
Blue sari was Surekha.
Sureka. Oh, okay, I got. Okay, Sureka. I was thinking it is the same Shailaja. Okay. Sorry, Shailaja.
Not Shailaja.
Okay.
Shailaja didn't go to India, I guess, yet.
Okay. Yeah, Sureka then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.